I dressed for the occasion. Hey guys, John from Album Review TV, RiFF RAFF, Neon Icon album review time. Yeah, a lot of you guys probably did not see this coming, or maybe you did and you're like, oh, he's about to bash it. But really, I'm surprised at how much I'm actually enjoying this thing. The thing is, if you take this down-home, trailer park, white trash, RiFF RAFF, living up to his own name seriously, then you're not going to have fun with this record, and you're just going to be like outraged about how bad and stupid it is. The thing is, the man does not take himself seriously at all. Why should you? RiFF RAFF is RiFF RAFF. Is he white trash? Yeah, maybe, but he does have some pretty funny and pretty clever rhymes here, and he actually has a pretty solid flow that I'm actually enjoying a lot more than I originally thought I would. I can't say I'm a huge fan of any of his early work, although it has grown on me some, and I do appreciate it a little bit more since I have found myself not taking it so seriously. That's when I actually started enjoying things more. This album definitely has its flops and cringeworthy moments, but those are far outweighed on the little scale I've got going on in my mind of moments that actually have solid flows, pretty funny moments, good production. Diplo actually handled the production on this, so it's a pretty big name. He addressed this on introducing the iCON. I think Diplo wanted him to be a little bit more serious with his lyric writing here, and he basically said, oh, fuck that, I'm not doing that, I'm RiFF RAFF, I do what I want. And that was very clear on the opening two tracks, introducing the iCON and, of course, Kokayne, spelled incorrectly. One of the most catchy choruses on the entire thing on that one, but we'll get to that in a minute. I wanted to talk about the production. Diplo handled this in a very interesting way. It wasn't just Diplo handling production here. There were several other producers throughout, but I thought that they did a really good job as a whole, not on every single track, but adding in something that's a little bit more modern. Some of the tracks that are very synthy influenced, a little bit of electronic flair. Some are just guitar led, like Kokayne, and that one actually feels like it could be a complete song on its own. It's not just a looped beat over and over again. It actually has guitar progressions, some decent drumming, and an actual bass line that doesn't make me kind of cringe and be like, oh, just another hip-hop song. The drum machines on a few of these are absolutely horrid, but for the most part, they actually sound pretty decent when they're used in a correct fashion. I think introducing the iCON is probably the most RiFF RAFF-y flavored moment that we're actually going to get here on this record. It's honestly surprising me on how good some of his verses come off here on this one. It feels pretty effortless, laps for days here on this one, especially on the opening back and forth between those two bros that were talking about the new Neon Icon album, dude. The beat straight up kills on this one and really set the bar high for what was to come on the rest of the record, and sadly, it shouldn't have done that maybe right off the bat because the rest of the record doesn't quite live up to it in terms of production or in terms of lyrical content. He straight up killed some of the rhymes on this one and its follow-up track, Kokayne. Like I said, Kokayne is one that can probably stand on its own musically. It has one of the best and most memorable choruses here on this entire Neon Icon LP, and I'm not sure if I should be disturbed or not to what I'm actually singing along to, but he actually sounds pretty decent here with his vocals. RiFF rounded up plenty of his friends here to make this star-studded record, and I'm actually surprised at how much I'm enjoying some of their verses. Mac Miller's verse on the track Aquaberry Dolphin is probably the most I've ever tolerated, or dare I say, enjoyed his raps. I'm not usually a Mac Miller fan, and yeah, he comes off like an asshole in this song, a total douche. At the same time, though, I can't hate on it too much because I actually think he has a pretty steady and solid flow. I'm also shocked at how disappointed I was in Childish Gambino's verse on the track Lava Glaciers. He even rehashed a line from his hit song Sweatpants, but it doesn't really stop it from being one of my favorites. It has this very slick and chilled out vibe to it. It's got this sample from the Nectar song from 1971. It's called It's All in My Mind. It sounds spectacular here on this track. It's got this really cool flowing intro and it kind of carries it out as well. and of course plenty of rhymes from Riff Raff and Gambino in between. I think mainly what makes me laugh and enjoy this track is what the subject matter actually is on such a chilled out groove. He's talking about bisexual mermaids and his luxuries here on this track. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of the original song, but I actually like this one. This album isn't afraid to be abrasive and in your face. It's full of these moments where he's referencing throwing pesos at strippers, not conforming to Diplo's wishes as to what he raps about on this record, and just showing off his wealth that he's acquired, that he often blows on cocaine, women, and booze. Maybe You Love Me stands out as one of the more potentially commercially successful cuts, bringing back the voice of a man who I thought had just disappeared from the music industry on the hook on this one. Mike Posner handles things there, with Riff Raff dropping some of his more genuine rhymes, although my favorite line here on this one is when Raff states, "You used to be so pretty, I kiss you on the titty, take trips to Mississippi cause your attitude is shitty." Something about the flow of those lines just sounded great to me. And when I say more genuine lyrics, I say it somewhat lightly because, once again, how seriously can you take him? And with that said, it brings me to the track VIP Past My Heart, one of the ones that actually tries to be an attempt at a love song, I believe. I'm not sure what he was going for there, and it's just an overly mellow and dramatic track that ultimately just bombs. Some moments on the album can just get flat out annoying, like the production on the track Wetter Than Tsunami. Take an out-of-place drum machine that feels like it's trying way too hard and mix it with this annoying vocal chant that loops through the entire song, and you've got a disaster on your hands. Honestly, the skits are pretty much skippable. I don't think it's anything that most people other than Riff and his friends will probably even find funny or entertaining. More of those annoying drum machines flare up again on the track's to Rich's anthem, Versace Python, which pretty much almost completely at least turns me off to this track. Well, a combination of that and Riff Raff's annoying vocals that really don't do anything for me besides make me want to say, on to the next one. I think the track Time is hilarious. I have this vision of Riff Raff performing it at open mic night at like a corner bar or something to a crowd of like 10 or less probably. He's cheesing it up big time, and I'm honestly polarized by it. I don't know if I love it or if I hate it or what to think of it. I think it's hilarious, and I actually do like it just because of the fact that he's not taking himself seriously here on this one, and I think he's almost probably parodying other artists that actually do sing about similar things like this in a serious manner. I probably would have told you were crazy a few years ago if you would have said I would have been a fan of a song similar to Tiptoeing in My Jordans, but nowadays, I can't say that I'm not a fan, or at least that I'm hating it, because it wouldn't be true. I think it's funny how he's talking about his expensive shoes and how well he tips strippers with his pesos. I don't know, I don't hate this record at all, and I'm actually enjoying more tracks that I'm disliking. There's tracks like Cool It Down that I'm not really a fan of. I do like this single, How to Be a Man. That one is actually really catchy. I think that even the remix sounds good, but I do prefer the original version. He definitely comes off arrogant on How to Be a Man, but it's totally intentional, and the beat on it is fire. I think it sounds absolutely great, and it's definitely one of my favorite tracks on the LP. This is all just my opinion, guys. What do you think? For me personally, it's a 3.5 out of 5. Don't forget to hit the like button on this review, guys, and don't just hate for no reason. I don't think it's an awful album by any means, and I think that just to say that it is, just because it's Riff Raff, that's stupid. You know it is. You can click here to check out my last review, or here to go to my second channel. Thanks for watching and subscribing to ARTV. I will see you guys very soon.